So here's my video about Roman Reigns' road to WrestleMania. I know many people will be thinking that why make a video on Roman Reigns? Like he has a guaranteed spot at Mania anyways. But like with the reports that came out last month that his path to WrestleMania is pretty clear. It may be, but there are different ways to get to that match also. There can be different stakes involved in that match also, or maybe there can be not only one different match, two different matches also. And that is what I want to discuss today. First, let's start with the obvious, which is Roman versus CM Punk, which is rumored anyways. People automatically assume that it is a main event because due to the backstage politicking and everything, people believe that CM Punk and Roman being in a storyline just after Bad Blood when CM Punk's main event got cut by Roman Reigns, and CM Punk knowing that being in a storyline with Roman Reigns will probably get you a main event, that also. And also that there is history there, and what if it is a dream match, and what is the two of the people even doing? Like CM Punk has a rivalry with Seth Rollins, which I don't think is gonna go till Mania anyways. Like we'll probably have it end most probably at the Elimination Chamber. If there are plans for CM Punk to go even higher, then then that is there. Roman Reigns just finished his story with the Bloodline. He defeated Solo. Like that's the end of at least the Ula Fala part of the Bloodline story. That Roman Reigns is the undisputed tribal chief now. So what does he do? He if you'll just look at Roman Reigns, if you keep aside CM Punk from this, like what does he really do? Like what are the realistic options? And like with Punk, there are a bunch of dream matches or storyline which have storyline purpose behind them, which are in the air, which are discussed by people. But if you look at Roman Reigns, there are not really many like dream matches being discussed in the IWC or in general that this is the match that we want to see. Like last year, it was Roman Reigns versus The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. These were the two matches that people wanted to see Roman have. What are the two matches that people want Roman to have? I don't think there are like a bunch of matches. Like you can see with Cena, there is Cena versus Gunther, Cena versus Cody, CM Punk versus Seth, CM Punk in a triple threat, CM Punk against Gunther. Roman Reigns, you don't really have that many like dream matches right now which are on the lips of people in the IWC or wrestling fans in general. So Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is like the most obvious one, which has been reported by multiple various portals that it is kind of the plan that it will be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Like they have a story, they have Paul Heyman. Like what is CM Punk's promise? Like CM Punk's promise is maybe get Paul Heyman on his side, then Roman can fight him. And as I explained in the last video, maybe Roman while fighting against CM Punk for the custody of Paul Heyman, he can also bring back history. Like yeah, CM Punk is one of the reasons that I got booed so much. Like the make Roman look strong meme, like it got popularized by CM Punk's podcast, which like there are crowds which have hardcore fans which may have heard about that and may have decided to boo Roman Reigns even harder. Like CM Punk has also shitted on WWE a lot of times when Roman Reigns was the guy. He has he has dunked down on segments also which had Roman Reigns in it. So Roman Reigns has a clear path. CM Punk also has against Roman Reigns. He can say, I built you. Whatever you have achieved is kind of because of the people that I have brought here. Like you you became famous due to your association with the Shield, which was made because of me. You had a second career resurgence because of Paul Heyman by your side, which I had. with me all these years. Just because I was gone, and just because, the person that we cannot say is not there, you got Paul Heyman services. So there are a lot of things you can do. The another thing that you can add, with stakes is the World Heavyweight Championship. The thing is, the World Heavyweight Championship, since Gunther, since I will say probably even when Seth was champion, like it is the secondary title, but I'd probably say since Survivor Series, the title has not really meant anything. I will say after Survivor Series, the title has been a complete afterthought on television. Like it has meant less than even the Intercontinental Championship, according to me, at least after Survivor Series till now. And then having that World Heavyweight Championship added in a CM Punk match, in a Roman match, regardless of whether CM Punk is against him or not, legitimizes the title. Like that guy, you can agree or disagree with how good his reign was, but it was for 1300 days. Like him going after the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk, and it does not have to be that he's going after a title. It can be the story is he's going after Paul Heyman. It is for to get Punk back, Paul Heyman back from Punk, or all their Shield history. But the world title is involved in it. Like that just you know popularizes the World Heavyweight Championship more, legitimizes it more in the people's eyes, and it is a guaranteed main event. Then you can have Punk win the title at Elimination Chamber, or maybe have Roman win the title at Elimination Chamber. Why not? The thing is this what I want? No, I am just discussing the various paths that are there for Roman's road to WrestleMania. What are the different paths that they can take, or they may take, or they may even, have these ideas in the creative meeting. So they can have that, have maybe Roman win the title, or maybe have CM Punk win the title, and CM Punk has has another thing that I my favor from Paul Heyman is I have the World Heavyweight Championship. The thing is, I need assurance for a main event. And what is an assurance? You know, a World Heavyweight Championship match which involves Roman Reigns is an automatic main event. Is an automatic main event. That there goes CM Punk's promise. That is a legitimate way to do this. You don't really need a title for that also, but if there is no title involved, I don't see Roman versus Punk then main eventing WrestleMania. I just don't see that happening. And they shouldn't also, like they can have a really good blood feud, but I think then either you can have the women main event the WrestleMania main event night one, or you can have Gunther or whoever is the World Heavyweight Championship winner in the main event of night one. I think that would be my what I would choose. Second option is second option is Drew McIntyre. Like if you see storyline wise, actually, with what is going on WWE television, if you're not reading dirt sheets, if you're not on Twitter that much, if you just watch the show, then in your mind you may think currently whatever is happening with Drew, it is leading to a Drew versus Roman match in the future. And just because WrestleMania season is here, it may lead to a Drew versus Roman match at WrestleMania. Because why not a Drew versus Roman match at WrestleMania? Because if you're just watching WWE TV, this makes the most storyline sense, because Drew has been the guy that even more than Kevin Owens has actually brought up Roman Reigns, as one of the catalysts, or as one of the reasons why he is who he is. Like him feuding with CM Punk, him turning heel. One of the reasons is Roman Reigns and the bloodline. Him even coming back from Hell in a Cell, from going through hell, having 15 stitches in your head. is Roman Reigns. Like that guy was off TV for in storyline reasons. That guy was off TV for more than 2 months because he was injured. He was in another country. The only reason he came back was because he saw Survivor Series and he saw that Roman Reigns is back at the top. So he came back. He attacked Jay. He attacked Sammy, and that has been his goal. Even now, he is entering the Royal Rumble. His main goal is not the World Championship. His main goal is that I want to win the Royal Rumble and challenge for the World Championship, just so that Roman Reigns does not get a chance to challenge for the World Championship. Like he said that he may have not won against Jey Uso, but he at least did, significant damage that Jey Uso can't interfere in the tribal combat. Drew has attacked Jimmy Uso. Drew has confronted Solo Sikoa, even has not let his rage unleash on Solo Sikoa because at that time he sees Roman as the bigger problem. He sees that Solo Sikoa could take down Roman Reigns, even though Solo Sikoa was the one who cost him the title, but Roman Reigns is the cancer according to him, which has uh, tried to destroy WWE for the past 4 years. In a way, it has to lead to something. I don't think what if you go by dirt sheets or even by logic, I don't see Drew versus Roman being a match at Mania. Though it does make sense, but I just don't see that happening right now. I think Drew versus Roman kind of makes. I think it would be much better if it happens after Mania, after Roman suffers a loss. I will have Drew come in and, beat down a wounded Roman Reigns. Maybe Roman Reigns loses at Mania to the opponent that I will talk about right after Drew, and after the Raw after WrestleMania, Drew takes out Roman Reigns, and that way you can have Roman Reigns off TV for a few months. You can set a Drew versus Roman rematch from like 3 years when he returns at Clash of the Castle. Drew versus Roman, another match happening at Clash of the Castle after 3 years, a non-title match, and you can give Drew his win there. Do I think Drew versus Roman will happen? No. If you look at TV, does it make the most storyline sense out of the three that I'm going to discuss for to happen at Mania? Yes, but I don't think it happens at Mania. I may do a video maybe tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, maybe in the future, that what is Drew's end game, and that will feature what I think will happen at Mania and what I think will happen after Mania for Drew. Then going forward, the last and according to me the match that should happen at Mania, Jacob versus Roman. Even though I have previously said that it doesn't really make sense for like an underboss to be the final opponent after the final, pun unintended, the final boss, which is Solo Sikoa. Like, why would Roman fight Jacob, who is the enforcer, after he has already beat the main boss? But I think Roman versus Jacob is the way to go at Mania. And it can actually tell a good story. Like, what has been the one thing that has been on the mind of people like Seth, KO, and Drew after Roman has come back? That Roman has not apologized for his actions, right? Roman has not changed as a person, which he himself proclaimed that everything changes but not me. So Roman is not changed. And I think having Jacob in a few days right now, as Drew says, as Kevin says, Roman Reigns is back at the peak of his power. He has the Ula Fala again. He's not out there saving his bloodline fellow members. He's there in his boat. Now he'll come back on the next week's episode of Raw. Next to next week's episode of Raw. So the story that you build is that Roman Reigns, when he goes into the Rumble, he is overconfident. There you can also have like everyone jumping Roman Reigns. You can also have Roman eliminate a few people and he's playing to the ground. He's doing the who, and you can at from a fan's perspective it can be he's just baby facing it up, but it's overconfidence, and in between that overconfidence, Jacob Fatu eliminates Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is livid, like, whoa, my dreams of reclaiming my title is over now. That way you set up a Jacob versus Roman match. It's not about the Ula Fala anymore. It's not about anything. It's about Jacob just coming against Roman and being like, okay, you are the tribal chief now, but I'm going to, but I'm better than you. Like, you are in the past now. You lost your title. What have you been doing since then? You had to, uh, Jacob, he can heal it up. He can say, you had to beg for your old members to come back. You had to, get CM Punk, who you don't even like as a partner, to go against us. Even in the tribal combat, you needed like five people to, you know, uh, help you win the match. Like, what have you done? Like, what do you think you are? This is not the same. This is not 2023. Things are not same anymore. You may be the tribal chief, but there's a new werewolf in town. So, you may be a chief, but when you are without protection, when you're without your, lackeys of the bloodline, the werewolf strikes you down every time. He can bring up the fact that I put you out for weeks when I attacked you with an injured foot. That you're not the same Roman Reigns because I attacked you with an injured foot and you still were out for weeks. Why haven't you been able to pin me? Why haven't you able? That can set up seeds planting for Jacob and Solo too. Jacob can say, you haven't pinned me yet. You haven't pinned me one time. And then Jacob can also be like, you know what? As we have seen, you have slowed down, buddy. Like a man that didn't get pinned for like almost 2 years, 3 years, got pinned by Solo Sikoa. What happened to that? That he can bring up the reduced schedule as a way to beat him up. He can say that week in week out, the he can say, instead of we the bloodline, he can say I come out and beat up everyone. What happened to you? You cannot do that. And that way you can actually set up a story that Roman Reigns, him not truly changing and him not being a good person, has affected him. Like, storyline wise, what we have currently said is he is still the bad guy, but just because Solo is a bad guy, people are cheering him, so suddenly everything is okay. No, we have to tell the people, no, Roman Reigns, whatever he did, suddenly everything is not okay. Maybe he has gotten his Ula Fala back, he has gotten his family under control, but he is not getting his title soon. He has to pay for his action. Roman has to pay for his actions. So Roman pays. Roman is, thrown out of the Rumble by Jacob. Jacob can, put seeds into Roman's mind. Even there can be some matches where Roman can win and still be like, maybe Jacob is right about some things. And you can have Jacob play mind games. But in the lead up to May, you can have, people of the maybe of the original bloodline kind of being like, maybe Jacob is right. And maybe them trying to explain to Roman and Roman alienating them again. Roman Reigns, just because he has got the Ula Fala back, maybe, and for the hate that he has for Jacob for exposing who he really is, he can, again push the OG bloodline away. So going into the Mania match, he only has Paul Heyman and he only has his Ula Fala, and you can have like an overconfident Roman go into WrestleMania against Jacob, and Jacob just being the better guy. Like, it doesn't have to be Scotch Knight, it just has to be Roman does things, it works a little, but it doesn't work to the extent that he thought that it would. Like, he could not keep, like, Jacob can run fast, Roman cannot keep up with him. So it's like Roman tries everything, but he just cannot get the better of Jacob. He eventually runs out of breath, and Jacob just, in the end, destroys him and wins. It can Even you can structure this match around that it can be more than a squash match. It can be like a four-star match or something, and Jacob wins. That way, then the next night after Mania, Roman Reigns is kind of in his two minds, like what has happened? I just lost to Jacob, and just when he's about to address, Drew McIntyre comes out, beats him up, and writes him off TV. And that's how you set up a Roman return against Drew, but it doesn't work because Roman Reigns again, just because Drew got under his skin, just because he faced a humiliation against Jacob, he came back early at Clash of the Castle. He did not fully recover and he loses against Drew McIntyre, a wounded Roman, and then you can actually start a true babyface arc of Roman, of him being actually realizing maybe my ways of as a tribal chief are wrong. Maybe I truly need forgiveness. Maybe I truly need to repent for what I've done. Maybe he goes around truly apologizes to the bloodline. Maybe he gets on good terms with people who he truly thinks he has done wrong with. And that way you can also set up a Rock versus Roman match eventually whenever you have that match, with a resurgent Roman going against a spited Rock who maybe has lost against Cody at SummerSlam or something, and he is like, yeah, Roman, you're nothing, bitch, and you can set up that match. So that will be my direction for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So if you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't like this type of content, share it with those who do. My social media links are in the description and even in the comment section pinned. My Twitter and Instagram links are there, so go follow me on those platforms. My UPI ID is there. Please go donate on it so that I can make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.